So you're ready to sell your home and you have a price in mind that you're going to sell for, but the real question is whether the market will pay for it. My name is Tim Taylor and I'm with Big T Texas Realty Group, and I would like to talk to you today just briefly about the selling process in today's market. I sit down with many customers who are ready to sell their home and I give a very detailed listing presentation. That listing presentation really has four key areas. One is setting the sales price of the home. The second is the activity versus the timing. Third is the effects of overpricing your home. And the fourth and last is the importance of setting the sales price. Let's cover the first key phase, setting the sales price. What I do with a customer is I go out and have an initial meeting with them and I look at the home in great detail. This is a time for me to do a walkthrough, to look at the condition of the property, see how many bedrooms you have, how many bathrooms there are, what amenities you may have, whether you have granite countertops, do you have hardwood floors, do you have ceramic floors, are they carpet? And I take a very good set of notes while I'm looking through that property. I also look as well to the exterior amenities that a home may have. Do you have a swimming pool? Do you have a cabana, hot tub? Do you have other external structures like a steel building, an external garage? I then take all of that information back with me to do what we call a comparative market analysis, or known as a CMA short. In a CMA, we will look for like comparison properties to yours within a relative geographic location. Okay? Appraisers will use a similar process when appraising your home. Realtors use the same sort of process in doing a comparative market analysis. This comparative market analysis looks for homes that have sold in the last 30, 45, 60 days. Why that time parameter? Because we don't want to go back too far because the market was different. If I went back 200 days, the market was a lot different than the market is today. So the most recent sold properties are going to yield the best results in establishing a very good comparative market analysis. If we're looking at 45, 60, 90 days, then we're good because the market really hasn't changed substantially within that period of time. Once I have that comparative market analysis placed together, I then come back for a second meeting with you and sit down and compare that data of the research, and then help you determine what is going to be the best setting sales price for your property. Now, this will then come into play with the other three key areas. The second one is the activity versus timing. When a property is first listed, it receives the most attention, both from realtors and from external resources such as Zillow, Realtor.com, because it's at the top of the algorithm. Everybody sees your property, everybody's clicking on it. If we are priced too high, then we're not going to have any showings. And we'll cover that here just shortly. So on the activity versus timing, that first 2 or 3 week period is going to yield the most return. After week 3, it slowly starts to kind of tailor off, and it then subsides down to a very low amount of viewings. Some of the things that can change the amount of viewings that you have is maybe a price change on a property. That can kind of bump you back up to the top of the list and give you some additional viewings, but it is never as much as it is on that first 2 or 3 week curve. And we'll cover here in just a minute what it means that if you do make a price change to your property after listing for a few weeks and then make a price change, you're not going to receive the same amount of attention as if you would if you priced it right to begin with. The third point is brings us into the effects of overpricing. Okay, if you overprice a property, the data shows us that an overpriced property will sit longer. And the longer the property sits, the lower the sales price or the offer price will be on that property. So if a house ends up sitting, say, a period of 3-4 weeks, it's going to be one price. If it sits 6 weeks, it's going to be another price. If it sits 8 weeks or more, it's going to be another price. And I'm picking weeks there, but the gist is the longer it sits, the lower the sales price you will receive for your home. And this is supported by very strong market data that you can, and I'm happy to share with you, that will show you that the importance of making sure that you have your house priced correctly from the very beginning will help you sell your home in the most fastest way possible. The longer it sits, you're going to lose quite a bit of value on your home. The last one is the importance of pricing. And I think we've kind of covered that in the first three. But the importance of making sure that you price your home correctly is like if I gave you a visualization of a pyramid. Setting your price for your home at market value, which is what your comparative market analysis will support, at market value or slightly below market value, will give you the greater number of buyers coming in to look at your property. So at market value, the general synopsis is that you would have about 60% of your buyer pool looking at your home. The higher you list your price of your home, the higher you go up to the top of that pyramid, and then the lower amount of buyers you'll have looking at your property. So it is very critical to make sure that when you're sitting with your realtor and they're sharing with you very solid market data, that you are using that market data to determine the price of your home. You cannot look at your neighbor down the road who's decided to list their property for a certain price because it hasn't sold yet. The key is looking at homes that have sold, because that is what we can support, and that is what an appraiser will use when they go to appraise the property, which brings you into kind of a second phase, and I'll do another video on that. But today I just wanted to cover the importance of pricing. Just remember, pricing is not what you think your property's worth, not what I think your property's worth, and not even what an appraisal or an appraiser will think your property is worth, as these are subjective, but it is based on sound fact data that is produced in a comparative market analysis. So if you're looking to sell your home, call a realtor, have them come in, look at your home, have them do a very detailed market analysis, make sure that they have used homes that are very similar to yours, so you're comparing apples to apples, and then know that you have a very good set of data to establish your price of your home on, and you have something that you can use to support that price, so that when you do have buyers coming in to look at the property, it's based on sound factual evidence of pricing. I hope that was helpful today. I'm very happy to come out, meet with you if you're interested in selling your home. If you would just like to know what you think the value of your home is, or like to know what the value of your home is, give me a call. I'm happy to run a comparative market analysis, send it to you whether you're selling or not. It will help you really kind of know what you're sitting on from an equity perspective. Again, thank you very much for joining today. I look forward to hearing from you, and have a great day.